Hey guys, this is Kirob speaking, and today we are back into making our Diablo 2 Countess run simulator. We are currently, let me check my notes, 27.5 hours into the process, and last time we did hook up this UI. This is of course our UI draft, but I can't have InDesign open and our program open at the same time, for whatever reason. Game Maker. Or studio open at the same time. So this was very nice to see this in action. It's actually working just as intended, and it looks this way, so it's great. And well, apart from the lacking tooltips in InDesign, can't tell which rune it is. So yes, we hooked up this UI entirely, and I think, and the progress bar, and I think what is up today is to take this UI, or rather this object which spawns this UI, and transport it into the other mode. Yes. Base it off of the existing one, but then have it display what is currently is going on here, and these stats being tracked, and 2 progress bars. And that will require us to track a lot of new data, which I'm currently not doing yet. So that will be interesting from a data standpoint and from a UI standpoint, how we deal with that with the 2 progress bars, implementing that properly. Also, very importantly, I've stacked up on tea. So you guys go and grab a glass of tea, or cup of tea, as you would say in the posh way. I'm drinking tea out of a glass because it just fits more. Could take a massive mug. I know Isaac in the office has a mug which has like 0.75 liters. It's like massive. It's awesome. Anyway, so let's open this. Okay, so we actually do have a bit of some kind of setup here. What did we want to do here? Big section headings? That is not needed. There's nothing in there. Is there anything missing in there? Are we actually done? Are we actually done with what we want to do for this UI? Not quite, I would say. There is no exit function. There's no way back, so to say. Now, okay, number of runs, and yeah, that's all fine. And let's go with this, and 1000, just to show you again where we were. And there's nothing for me to select here, apart from which ones I want to have cubed and which ones I don't want to have cubed. Alright, but that was all figured out. So if we just press simulate, there we go. Yes, this is all beautiful. Cube time. A few cubings happening. Times counting. Sim time is not quite accurate, right? That was a limitation of this. But other than that, it's looking really nice and solid. No way back though. There's no way back to setup. So maybe once it actually has finished, we should open up the possibility of like activating this button again, the setup button. And when you click, you just discard what is in this room and go back to the setup room. Which is persistent, I believe, isn't it? Let's check this out. Is it persistent? Persistent, yes. And the results run is not persistent. Cool. So that one would get destroyed. I just want to make sure that before I make the new UI, which would be the repetitions room, this one, before I do that, I want to have my object, which I'm going to clone, like duplicate. I want that to be mostly complete with all the stuff we need, so that I don't have to do double work, like back implementing new things from the other one into the first one. So yeah, let me do that first. This way to get back to the setup UI. Okay, so my strategy here is to implement a new variable that is simulation finished, and I set it to false upon creation. And then in the stepper function, I do a if runs left to do equals 0 and simulation finished, just a check for that. And then if that is true, then I am going to do... then I'm going to unlock the button. But I don't want it to do that more than once. Okay, I think I hacked something in here that might work. But the simulation finished thing isn't set just yet. So I need to do that. Probably in this loop, because that will only be triggered once. Yeah, simple enough. Okay. So this will only be able to enter it once at one run left to do. At least in this mode. And that means simulation gets set to finished, gets set to true. Then it goes out of this loop, comes here, checks simulation is finished. Simulation finished. This one is true, and runs left to do is also 0. So this means also true. And that for a single time will be able to set this flag back to false, of course, as well as activate the setup button. And then we need to check that if this button is clicked, then go to room setup. Let's see if that works. Alright, so we simulate this, and does the setup button activate? Yes, it does. And we're back! It did work! It did work, and it still has our settings. Excellent. Excellent, so now I just need to fix the bug. That is, normal mode isn't normal mode. This is somehow weirdly set. So, if you see... Oh shit! It made it persistent. We haven't reset the data. Well, the data wasn't oh, fucking hell. Okay, if we are actually then... Oh, I need to check another thing. Can I click it without the simulation being done? So, let's go here and simulate. Come on. Okay, no, this is all... I've warded against it. Yes, very good. Okay, that's very simple. Very, very simple. The only thing I did, it's really handy by the way, the width. With this object, then everything you state in here becomes as if you are calling it from that object. So that's super handy. And I'm just copy-pasting basically the initialization. So it's re-initialized. Let's see if that worked. And now Hell mode is default selected. Very good. Let's go to Nightmare and Cube whatever. So some custom settings. 1,000 runs, or let's do 400. And here we go. So this is good. It doesn't click. That looks very much like Nightmare indeed. And we go back to setup. We want to run again. And everything is 0. Yes! Oh, that was easy. Okay, cool. That worked. Okay, now that we have that done, I think it is time for us to copy over or duplicate the UI manager for that mode and make our repetitions mode a little bit more scary, because it's like the mode we already have X number of times and do data analysis on top of that with the data that comes after each result. So yeah, okay, daunting, but let's just get into it. I think I want to create a new state, which basically is, do we have all runes we need? And that one needs to be checked after each and every run, after each cubing. Oh, wait a second. No, the cubing now needs to happen actually after each run. Yes, that's slightly different, because it could be the case that through a cubing after a run, Like, let's say we have 10 runs per frame, and after run 6, or within that frame, we actually have everything we need if we cubed it. So in that case, we actually need to check for the cubing. We have to call the cubing script after every run. Oh, tricky. Okay, I'm currently writing a script which does the check for me if we are there or not, and I try to make it as efficient as possible. Let's see. So, got all we need is our Boolean variable. It is set to true when we come in here, and then I loop through all the runes from lowest to highest. Probably I should do it in reverse order, because then you would probably quicker get to one which you don't have but need. Not necessarily. Not in normal difficulty, not a nightmare. So now, okay, let's leave it as this. So we are looping through all the runes, and we check if the required is lower, strictly lower, than what is in inventory. If that is the case, then we set the variable got all we need to false and break the loop so that it doesn't have to continue. So as soon as it finds the first rune that we don't have enough of, even though we required it, it breaks and returns this variable, which then at that point will be set to false. This break breaks the for loop. So that is what is going to happen, I believe. And of course I messed up the sign here. That wouldn't work. So the required, if that one is larger than what we currently have, then we have not what we need. Okay, yeah, that's the right way around. Okay, does it work like this? let's have a quick think here. So we're just using the structure we already had from the previous one. It's getting a little bit more complicated now. So we loop over the number of runs for the frame. So if we have it set to 10, it does 10 runs in a row. But now I have shifted. Oh, I need to shift this one. Oh, in there I already did. Okay, good. But I don't need to do it twice. No cubing twice is needed. So we are cubing there after saving those variables. Okay, so do a run, save, add one run to the runs that are completed in the data manager. That's the variable there. Runtime, yeah, exactly, runtime. Then we cube, and then if that check, our new script, returns true, then we break the for loop and continue over here. Okay, let's do it like that. Slowly getting there, slowly getting through this. So in this loop, we are now also setting if this one the check returns true, that means we got all runes. And that means we can break, right? So I also save this as yes, true. I have modified it such that it still tracks the fraction of runs done so that our UI still works the way we expect it to. And then, at least that progress bar does. This one, number of runs, that needs to be changed. That needs to be changed to some kind of average expected number of runs or something. Maybe average expected plus 50%. Something along those lines. And, okay, and then capped at 1, basically. But then we do need something that, well, we changed it around here so that repetitions left to do replaces the runs left to do, so that our simulation stops once all repetitions are done, and we still have the same functionality for button unlocking, right? But now we need to implement the logic for what happens when this variable, where is it, got all runes, is switched to true. Then we need to have an if statement that resets this variable and saves all the data from the current set of runs and starts a new repetition. And because of how diligent we were by doing all the design work up front, we actually see what kind of data is required for, well, what we need to save. So basically just the number of runs, the total amount of time it took, the pure runtime, the cube time, the number of cubings. That is all we need. And for that I have now made a result vector for each of them that hopefully only needs to be initialized by a null element and well, or 0 in that case, so that we can add elements to it dynamically. I think that works. I think dynamic memory allocation is something that GML works out just fine. In C++, I would always get segmentation faults. Segmentation faults. That was the bane of my existence in C++. Yeah. Writing data analysis tools for nuclear physics experiments. There was a bunch of segmentation faults all the time. Oh yeah. Oh no, don't remind me. Don't remind me, you bastards. Oh well, this is a little clumsy writing it like this, but that's how we laid out the code structure. So yes, let's see what we are going to do here. So I'm now within this loop actually. If we have not gotten all runes, and then that flag gets triggered, like a proper social justice warrior, then we are going to set it to false and write to the result vectors of all the data we need for the current index of oh, this looks so bad. I'm sorry guys, I'm sorry, I know it's bad, but it works. I hope it will work. So to the current repetition number, clumsily expressed like this, we write to it the current data, and after we have finished with that, we reset that data to 0. And then we lower the number of repetitions left to do by 1. But also, we need to reset the rune inventory. Inventory? Inventory, yes. Okay, that should do it. Very simple. Just request that the data manager resets its rune inventory to 0 by looping through all the runes. And this is not done all the time, it's just after each repetition. It's very quick to do, so that should really be it. I have no clue if this is actually working or not. And we can't really tell until I've hooked up some UI to debug it. Okay, I think I have some kind of basis for trying it out. It's always scary. I mean, I couldn't test it at all so far, and there are massive, massive changes. Do we even actually call that stuff? I should probably check that first. Room, no, it doesn't have any object in it. So yeah, I could try to debug it all I want. Of course it will work. Like this. Okay, so now the object is actually in there. And is there a function for us to get there? Let's check in the setup UI. I don't think there is. Ah, hey, it's all prepared. It's all here. But we are going to the wrong room. So normal difficulty, we require a Tal rune and a Ral rune, and we do. Let's do 100 repetitions. 1 and see how badly it crashes. Simulate. Oh. Oh, there it goes. Okay, problem was that there was a variable which we really had not initialized. Number of runs left, basically. Because we don't know how many runs are left. This depends on if we on when we find the runes we need. Okay, let's try again. There will, of course, be more bugs. Let's go through them one by one. And simulate. And... no, it's... holy shit! There we go. Just continues. Oh no, it just continues. But it resets and everything. Okay. So there's no end to this. It's good to know. This, by the way, is just divided by 1000. Yeah, and these are the wrong X values for... oh, the wrong Y values for these bars. So that's all weird. Okay, but that's good to know. Cube time, yeah, they're all resetting. That's all good. Nice stuff. Maybe it is as simple as this. Repetitions left to do? If it's larger than 0, that was not in there yet. And I think I fixed the bars as well. I did have some notes here regarding their placement. Now let's check it out again. Select runes. Yes, we are playing normal. And 1 Ral, and 1 Tal, and 1 F rune. Here we go. Repetitions. 50. Oh, yeah, 50 exactly. Like this. And simulate. Okay. Here we go. Alright. And it stopped. It stopped 1 short. And that's something I don't want to happen. But that's all good. Okay, so it is running through. I don't know if it just writes garbage to these vectors now, but that is something I need to check. It probably should leave the last run on screen. Because this is looking a little unsatisfying. Alright, one way to potentially test this is changing the spacebar functionality to a debug message which just prints out the vector we supposedly are writing for the first 100 elements. And I just need to make sure that there actually are 100 elements then. And did the simulation stop? Oh yeah, it did stop. But 1 short. I think I fixed that too. Let's run it again. 100 repetitions. And then press the space bar and it should pop up with data down there. So repetitions 100. And we do require an Ort rune. And yes, we are cubing these runes. Okay. Otherwise we will never get... oh shit! Yeah, that is something we... It would never get there. There is a way to have this run infinitely. So there needs to be some kind of abort thing, but then again, exit is basically abort. So okay, Ort rune required. We're cubing these. Repetitions, done. Okay, so let's go like this, simulate, and here we go. Oh yeah? Oh yeah, that's pretty nice. Okay, that's working, that's working. It's per 100 runs. Repetitions, 100. Now it's stopped there. These are still being weird, but, being deleted first. I don't know... I don't know if for the final one I can make an exception there. Alright, but anyway. I now have to press spacebar and I get an error. Out of range. I don't care. I don't care. It's fine. It's working. Or is it? 1? Really? That does... no, that's not possible. What the fuck is happening there? You can't... you can't find that in one run. What's going on? The clearing of the screen is now simply moved into a check for if the repetitions left to do is... oh, wait a second. I can just move this here to make it a bit more clear. Like this, and then have that... As long as these are not 0 repetitions left to do at this point, then I'm going to clear this data. So that should leave the last data set on screen. Okay. Oh, okay, this is hell difficulty. Yeah, I was wondering what was going on, because these runes were required, and now they're here. But so that worked. I, by the way, fixed the bug. A bug. This was stupid. It was. I had it as equal. No, as long as it is not equal to 0, we are cleaning those. So in all cases, but the last one. In order to debug shit, I'm just going to change this option, the lowest option, for number of repetitions to 1. So that would mean that we have the last data on screen. Can just run a few examples and see if that actually works. Okay, repetitions 1, runs per frame 1, and we do want to find a loom rune. Simulate. And there we go. Okay, well yes, 6 if runes were found, but also cubed. That's good to know, very good. And we have 1 loom rune. Hell yeah, that seems to work. Alright, so let us make another test case here. Select runes. We are running in normal difficulty, and we do want to have an arm rune. One of those, and we do want to have 1 Ort rune as well. And we are allowed to cube, or let's say 3 Ort runes, like this. And we are allowed to cube everything but tier runes, because we like tier runes so much. Okay? That makes perfect sense to me. Runs, yep, repetitions 1, and here we go. There, yes. Oh, after 84 runs, we got it. Is this correct? 3 Ort runes. We have plenty of tier runes. Yes, nice. Finally some tier runes. And we have our arm rune. Yeah, I think this is exactly what it should be. We have been cubing these all along. And we have 3 Orts. No, it didn't return any fools. Which is logical, it shouldn't, because that is the last step. Then the simulation ends, right? As soon as you cube your 3 full runes, this ends. And we had 63 numbers of cubings. Lots of cube time. Okay. But this is looking great. Seems like it's working. So what does... it will crash, but what does this one say? Did it say anything? Abort? Did it say the correct number? Okay, no it didn't. So something is going on here. This is weird. Let's run this again, but with 100. And this time I'm going to speed it up a bit more. So, here we go. There we have it. Okay. 80 runs, so it seems to be around 80 runs per thing. And, yeah, I know. Abort. Abort! Jump ship. Here we go. So, this is looking correct. This is looking correct. So maybe that was a fluke that we had before. That it was weird with the 1 run. I don't know what was going on there. Because all this is looking really, really correct, actually. Okay, let me do it like this instead. It's a little bit more proper. So it's a one-dimensional array, and that array has a length. And we are going to loop through until all of those elements have been displayed, but no longer. So it should no longer crash when I do this, unless I have the wrong formatting on this. I've never tried that, but that should be it. So if we have 50 in here, and we do require just one... let's do one Ort rune, and we are only queuing these, right? Okay, 50, and go! There we have it. Oh, I think I know what I did. The ones were coming from me having it in hell difficulty mode, so you can find Ort runes directly. Or it was a nightmare or something where they are really common. That must have been it. Yeah. Alright, but now we can press... Ah, fuck, it's... that crashes. Out of range. Did I still fuck it up? Oh, -1, please. Oh, that might be a bug, actually. Yeah, I'm addressing the array wrong. Alright, quick test here. So we're running normal difficulty. We require the stealth armor. And we do 100 repetitions. 10 runs per frame. That should be super quick then. And... And nothing and. No cubing. Yeah, we don't want to cube. This is speed running. So, what are the numbers that come out of this? That should be super quick. Yes, done. That was the last one. We got 4 tal before we found our first F. Oh, wow. That was really unlucky. But holy shit, 4 RAL as well after 6 runs? That was mega lucky. Alright, so let's press space, and it didn't crash. Nice. So how long does it take? Well, we have the data here. First try. First try, it only takes once. 7 tries, 5, 3, 9, 3, 1, 2... 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, sounds about right. The only thing that is astonishing in here is that there is nothing above 10 in here. Oh, well, the Tal rune is the most common rune, so yeah, it's basically boiling down to pretty close to finding an F rune. There's one final thing I would like to do, and that is switch out this number with a calculated average of all the runs. Really should be as simple as this. I created a new average variable in the data manager. And this is a tiny little script which just is there for building the averages. And what I'm doing is I'm checking the size of the array, which in the data manager is basically the number of repetitions completed. Let me see, is that true? Yeah, that would always be at least 1, but we should safeguard against this. Okay, I feel much safer already. So, if that is the case, then we go in here and for the size of the array, just run through all its elements and add the whatever number is in there after dividing it by the total size of the array. So, true average we are building here. Okay, so far so simple. And we only need to call our new function when we've found all runes, because that is the only time the averages would update. Okay, now I just need to display them. Let me do that too. Okay, that is pretty simple with the structures we have set up before. I just had to copy-paste over our new variables and in here change the titles, and maybe that already works. Let's try it out. So we're playing normal. We do want to find our arm rune and 3 orts, because we love them orts. And we cube everything from an if rune and up? F rune and up? Yeah, that makes it a little faster. Maybe we should just cube the whole shit. Alright. And we do 100 repetitions at 1 runs per frame. That will take a while. But, yeah, okay. Simulate. And... there. Ah? Oh no! Oh no. This doesn't work. They're just being added. They're not reset. Ah, they're not reset. Fuck. Okay, I need to fix that. Okay, the simple fix should be that whenever we are calling this summing and averaging function, before we sum up all the elements, we actually just null them, because otherwise they grow. Yeah. And let's try again. 100 repetitions. 10 runs per frame? No, 1 run per frame. And we simulate in normal. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, should be good. Here we go. Does it work now? There. Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It is working. Oh, that took a while. But here's your answer. If you want to have 3 alt runes and an arm rune in normal difficulty, it takes you, on average, 72.19 runs. And we could see towards the end that this number didn't move that much anymore. At the start it jumped around quite a bit, of course, because there's not much data in there. But yeah, so it seems to be working. It seems to be working. Such a nice program. And we do need, on average, with cubing all that nonsense, do need on average 62.49 cubings. Average cube time, oh my god. That is, how long? It's 20 minutes? Something like 20 minutes, right? Yeah, almost 21 minutes. But now, let's try to figure out one thing here. I shall set it up. Oh, I should have tried just to get back into setup mode. Yeah, we're not resetting data yet, though. Oh, well, I need to do that too. But first, let's try something proper. Strength, arm tier, right? We want to have that, and we want to have it in nightmare, because we need that crushing blow. It did have crushing blow, eh? Yeah, strength, arm tier. Yeah, I believe that's correct. Anyway, so arm tier, we do want 1,000 repetitions. Let's go real hard, hammer it. Runtime's fine, cubings. And we don't want any cubings. Oh, but no cubings. We just take the runes as they come. And it's looking good, looking good. And I do want to know how long it takes, on average, to get that rune word in Nightmare. Maybe we want to cube full runes, just to get the arm quicker, in case we are lucky. So, let's cube them. Yeah, and this should run super fast, so let's see. And, oh yeah. Yeah, that's looking good. Now this is a proper simulation, look at that, it's just speeding through it. Oh, large variation in number of runs needed. Still varying a lot. There we go. 10.8 runs on average. And with this, I think I'm leaving you for today. I have no clue how long this episode is. I did talk a lot. More than usual. This worked better than usual, so that's good. Yeah, there's plenty more to do with the data analysis stuff. Especially with the confidence interval things that need to be added. But we are on a very good trajectory here, and I hope you enjoyed, and see you guys next time.